Every single day that I go onto social media, one of the biggest things that I'm seeing is how much money people can make with drop shipping. Well, true, drop shipping can help a brand grow, and it's low cost and low risk. It's also not as good as it seems on the surface. So what I wanted to do is actually make a video about the actual cost of drop shipping and how it works. But additionally, as a little bonus, what I would like to do is tell you if I was to start a drop shipping company, what I would do. So let's dive in. Let's start by identifying really what drop shipping is. When starting a brand, drop shipping is a very simple solution, and it's appealing to many different people. Why? Because with drop shipping, instead of having to buy mass quantities of inventory and trying to find a way to store it and everything else like that, they take care of all of that for you. But because they're taking care of all that for you, your cost per unit increases. So if you're buying t-shirts, instead of spending 90 cents on a t-shirt, you're spending $11.50. So basically, this is very appealing to many different people because they don't have to have large amounts of inventory. But can you really make money drop shipping? Well, let's get to the numbers. So let's start with that product. It's about $11.50 for like the most basic, simple t-shirt, which on paper looks good until you start to get to the actual cost of things. Let's say on top of that $11.50, you have $5 worth of shipping. Then your cost per acquisition across all social networks. So let's say TikTok, Google, and Instagram and Facebook. Let's put it low. Let's say you're an amazing advertiser. So it costs you about $10 per acquisition. Already, you're at about $26 per acquisition. If you were to sell a $30 shirt, that's not terrible. But you're not taking into account that in most cases, return rates from customers are over 20%. To get that number, roughly what we do is we take all of your costs combined and times it by 3. Doing that will give you what you should be selling your product at. Again, 70 to 80 is still a low number. This is $11.50 shirt. So if you were to sell that for $70, even at $60, it's really hard to scale at that point because how many people are going to buy $11 shirt for $60? So quality is clearly an issue right off the bat for how high you're charging. The second problem you're going to run into is when you think that you can just get better quality items because again, their price goes up and so does yours. So now for a pair of pants, you might have to charge $200 just to make profit. Are you starting to see why there's some problems with drop shipping? Another problem that people run into is the competition. Obviously, if these shirts all look the same, they feel the same, and really they're made by the same people, how much competition is out there trying to undercut you, especially if your competition doesn't really understand how pricing works. So how would I build a drop shipping brand? Well, basically, all of these numbers tell me that it's impossible to have a drop shipping brand and make money at the same time. So what would I do? For the first 2 years, I'd focus completely on awareness, running campaigns on Google, Meta, and even TikTok. This would allow me to get a large amount of reach and a lot of people who know who my brand is. On top of that, I'd also invest my time on social media and other networks to really try to build a brand. Building a brand properly gives you a large following. It also gives you an email list. Now you can reach these followers for free. The next thing that I would do is I wouldn't take any type of profit or pay for myself for the first 2 years, maybe 3. Why? Because it lowers my expectation. I'd still have to keep my normal day job, but I could sell my product for a lot cheaper because I'm not paying myself or expecting profit. Now, why is this a good strategy? In advertising, we call this a break-even product. Basically, everything that this product generates in revenue goes back into ads, creating a larger reach. Now, why would we do this for 2 or 3 years? This would give us the numbers that we need. 1, it would give us a following that we need, but 2, we would start to know the realistic numbers of how much an acquisition actually is across all networks. It would also teach us lifetime value of a customer. And it would also give us relevant information when it comes to how many orders are returned or customer satisfaction. Once we had the numbers, now we can go into it and order a bulk shipment. With this bulk shipment, we can also focus on sizes that we know with real numbers that are our biggest sellers, as well as colors and pattern. Also, now that you're buying something in bulk, you can have more input on the design process and the quality and where it's coming from. So all in all, your first 2 years are just completely focused around your brand and building that. Then afterwards, you're looking at numbers and getting even better quality. In summary, dropshipping on paper looks good. And when people who really don't know what they're talking about hop on and say that you can make $50,000 within your first week, they might be right, but there's costs involved with that. And so even if you do make money, you might be losing money when you look at your actual ROAS or your true ROAS in this case. Dropshipping isn't a sustainable option, but if you're only looking to build a brand, it's a good solution because there's low risk to you.